Peter Taylor, the Lazy Project Manager, talks social project management for ProjectManagement.com, powered by PMI.
Hi there, my name is Peter Taylor, but you may know me through my alter ego, the author of The Lazy Project Manager. But today I'm not talking about lazy project management, I want to talk to you about social project management. This is an emerging and evolving world, and through this series of videos we will together explore this world, this exciting world, and what opportunities it can bring us as project managers. But there is a challenge. We have to find out a way of balancing the social collaborative world with the need for centralised control and governance in this very project driven world. So join me and explore the world of the social project manager. So think of it like this. This is the way I describe this kind of world. There are kind of three layers. We start this social around project, this social about project, and this social within project. The three layers. And it's important, I think, to think about these so that when you construct your means of communicating with your social project, that you take into account all of these. And it's possible you might use the same tool for all of these, but still I think it's important to understand them. So we think about, let's start at the second one, the social about project. Social about project is exactly what it says. Anything and everything to do with the project, the goals of the project, the purpose of the project, what the project is trying to achieve, where you're going with the project. So this is the level of communication that you as a project manager will own to a degree of guiding where it's going. Remember we talked about the visibility of purpose. This is a great one for that, for example, because then you can describe the visibility of purpose, you can remind people, you can move the project forward, you've got your regular project reporting, you've got your regular communication, etc., your status, your issues, your risks, all those things you know and love as a project manager. So this is a level of communication that is about the project, as simple as that. And obviously your project team members are party to this communication, and they will interact, again not in a hierarchical way but in a very open collaborative way. Then you've got kind of what I talk about is kind of communication within project, and this kind of drops to a kind of granular level. So as a project manager you cannot possibly be involved in everything that's going on, every piece of communication, and nor should you want to be, in all honesty. So there will be members of your team that will communicate with each other. There might be a specific subgroup or sub-project activity, it might be a particular team, it might be a particular group of people, it might be people focused on a particular challenge right now that they're trying to overcome. And there'll be all this conversation going on at this level. Now in the social world you can certainly organise it so you can get sort of updates from this, so you can dip in and out and have a look at it, but you don't specifically need to be involved in the detail. You've got to have this, again we talked about it, you've got to have this trust, this leap of faith again of sharing with the project team that they are responsible people. You've shown them a way, you've shown them where the project's trying to go, the visibility of purpose. Now it's a matter of let's move forward, and you communicate as you need to communicate with whoever you need to communicate. And I'll be up here as the project manager kind of tracking what's going on and involved as and when I need to be on a kind of an exceptional basis. Now, with the world of social tools, you can dip in, you can look in, you can get alerts, you can get sort of daily feedback or weekly feedback from these kind of lower level communications, but it's entirely up to you how you structure it. So you've got this communication about the project, the general project progress. Then within that you've got this little tiny iterative activities of communication going on underneath, which is social within the project. And then finally you've got social around the project, and this is an interesting one because it's kind of a mixture of promotion of what the project's about, but also recognising that people are people, and therefore we love to talk, we love to communicate, we love to gossip, we love to share, we love to talk about stuff, whether that be what was in the papers today, on the news, on the radio in the car on the way in, what was on television last night, a recent film you saw at the weekend, a party that's coming up, what doesn't really matter. There will be all of this kind of chatter, this communication going on. And this is, this kind of gives you, this is just replicating real life. I mean, if you had none of these sort of digital tools to help you as a social project manager, this stuff still goes on. There is still going to be the cooler conversations, the coffee machine conversations, the meeting in the corridor, the lunchtime chats, etc. This will still go on. When you get together for a meeting, there's always that sort of initial sort of personal interaction to kind of settle things down before you get on with the purpose of the meeting, etc. So this is nothing particularly new. But I think when you think about how the tools are going to be used that you have at your disposal as a social project manager, this is where you need to think about, well, how am I going to deal with all three of these? How am I going to deal with social around the project, social about the project, and social within the project? And how am I going to manage the volume of communication that is going to be potentially digitally recorded and shared so that we don't overwhelm? And I'm going to go back to one of those key points that we discussed very early on in this video series, which is the fact that the cry I hear from many project managers is, look, social project management is just, my organisation believes it's just a layer on top of everything. So I have to do all of the traditional communication, all the traditional reports, etc., on top of which I have to do the blogs, the tweets, the communication, the social interactions, the Facebooking, whatever it may be. I have to do that on top. And I do not have the time to do that. Again, the smart social project manager looks at the best means of communication. You remember, it's always about right means, right way, right time to the right person to allow the project to move forward and not to be held back by a complete overload of communication. And that's one of the dangers to the world of social project management, being overloaded with information rather than benefiting from the kind of collaborative, rapid pace, interaction type communication that can definitely lead to better success outcomes for a project. Let's just get sort of three tips, if you like, or three areas. I mean, first one, collaboration means proactively sharing and actively helping. So the best kind of mindset a team can have is one of proactive sharing. We talked in an earlier episode about this kind of self-correcting communication, and that demands this kind of proactive sharing, the willingness to reach out to help other people. For one thing, sharing enhances collaboration and takes away selfish sort of fiefdoms or little personal silos, worlds. For example, instead of people hogging info and becoming roadblocks for productivity, project data could be stored in a central database for all to access or something like that. Get team members to impart their specific expertise on wikis or internal blogs or SharePoints or something like that to jumpstart this habit. There are many reasons why people don't share knowledge. Either they don't realise how much their expertise can impact the team, or simply don't have an efficient system for doing so. I mean, putting up any difficulty for people to do that puts people off. The second one is self-organisation beats top-down management. Self-organising teams aren't kind of rogue cowboys doing whatever they want. They're flexible, responsive teams that decide how best to attain goals and deadlines set forth by management. Thus, team members distribute tasks amongst themselves, plan for their own work schedules within the set deadlines, and may even decide who is best equipped to lead a certain project. I mean, the goal of self-organisation is to encourage self-actualisation of the team members, to bring out their sense of ownership of the project and their decisions. Studies have shown that if you decide on your own task load, you will feel more responsible for your work and usually even more motivated to execute at your highest standards. And the third one is constant communication beats guessing. There's no substitute for proactive communication. When facing a roadblock or a challenge, use the tools at your disposal to tell the team so you can create a solution using your combined efforts. If you need help, if you're wondering about a task status, or if you're looking at an important document, ask. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Chat, call, leave a message in the project management software. Anyone who's ever had to babysit toddlers knows that the minute there's silence, something bad is about to happen. So ensure the team knows that over-communication is better than radio silence. And the fact that you will put forward your own thoughts, your own ideas, doesn't necessarily mean they have to be right. You need this openness, of this ability for people to not be afraid to put out their ideas, maybe the wrong ideas. I think this self-correcting thing comes in. But it does not matter. If there's silence out there, then for sure you're missing some great gems of experience, some wise thoughts, some great guidance, some fantastic contribution from team members. And you do not, as a social project manager, in this world of social project management, want communicative silence at all.
In the next episode, why be a social project manager?